Hello, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals. And for tonight's episode, we will be featuring Beishanlong. But before that, here are the winners of the Guess the Species contest. We have 10 lucky picks: Bat, Rooney Dino Art, your local Ornithomimus, Lego Godzilla, Ebonibaldo Ponce, Ian Alexander, Rajasaurus, Rainmark 11 years old boy, Ayutay Canal, Rival Arbus. Congratulations, here
Top
top
10.
10, Aidan Stevenson,
Top
Ice
9.
Dragon,
Top
Cretaceous
8.
Bricks,
Top 7.
Yawan Fazo,
Top 6.
Gabriel Elkins,
Top
User
5.
BZ6DG,
Top
Historic
4.
Special,
Top
Dalton
3.
Unofficial
2.
Jurassic World,
And
Prehistoric
Top
Live.
1.
Congratulations, everyone! And for those of you who want to join, so easy, just type Extinct Bricks, then click the logo, then go to the community link for you to see our latest posts. And now for art the making.
So we have sculpted the figure with Pioneer Nonstop epoxy A and B. We mix them up together and we created a putty to fill in the gaps here. So that of the neck, the arms here, the tail, and also the legs. Now we're going to put on some details on the figure. And here we've added some details on the featherings on the arms as well as that of the head and neck sections of our Beishanlong. Yeah, it looks so cool already. Now it's time for us to primer this big bad boy. So here is our Beishanlong and it's been primered, as you can see here, with all the feathering details here. Now all we got to do now is paint. I have here our smaller but still large, Gallimimus. And what we'll be needing for this painting would be some brushes over here, of course, acrylics, water, and a hairdryer. So we make everything faster. Alright, so let's start painting. So we have here a lighter gray color than the primer that we have. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to place in some random feathering details on the figure. So this will create a depth of perception wherein the lighter what do you call these? Feather details would be on top and the darker feathers would be the shadows of the feathers on top. So depending on how you want the the intensity or the darkness of the gray would end up, just remember that if you have more of the lighter feathers, then that would make it much lighter on that end and or appear lighter, while if you have less of the of the lighter gray that we have here, then that means that it will look like that the parts there would be darker. So here's a even lighter shade of gray, and we're just randomly putting in on some areas that we need to highlight on the figure so that it's just not two tones but it's almost 3D in a way. So the highlights would be going on where the usual ray of light would strike the figure, like on the top portions, on the sides of the neck, like so. Yeah. So just a good way to highlight the figure. Next up, we're going to paint this secondary layer of wing just white. So why white? Because later on we're going to put some feathering details over it. So it looks like there's another layer of feathers going over this white sheet of feather on the wings, like so. We're going to do that also on the other side. So after that has been dried, we are now going to place in details of some more feathers on, well, technically like sitting on top of each of the feathers here. So one over here, and then the other also goes here. Oops, it's okay. And then another one there. You get the idea, right? This gives out the illusion that there is no structure going in between over here. Yeah. Right. And now for some lowlights or darker parts of the figure. So we have here a dark gray mixture over here, and we're going to paint on the legs part, on the thighs, as well as the back part of the creature, Beishanlong, like so. I tried to make it very thinned out so that it would somehow create that translucent feel to it still. So it's not it's not a solid color. So some of the lighter grays are still showing through. So we're going to paint this here and also on the back area. Like so. Now that the lighter shades, well, darker shades of gray are already there, it's now time for us to bring in the dark colors. So this is just black, plain black, and we're going to paint this on the wings, edges of the wings of the Beishanlong. We're also going to paint the headdress here. I call it a headdress. Feathers on top of its head, like so. And some details also on the legs. So I'm going to use here a finer tip of brush over here, and we're just going to lay down the feathering details on the body, where there would be some shadows casting over the thighs, legs of the creature, like so. I'm not going to overdo it. I'm just going to bring in some low shades over here. Yep, I'm liking it. Alright, so to create the transition between the feathered parts and the non-feathered parts of the Beishanlong, we have here a mixture of, what's this? Raw sienna with the grays that we used on earlier, and we're going to paint that on the what do you call those? The transition lines between the feathers and the non-feathered parts. So that would include, of course, here the legs and of course the arms or the hands of the Beishanlong. And here we combined raw sienna with some white, well, very light gray, and we're painting this on the legs and also the hands of our Beishanlong. This kind of reminds me very much of the secretary bird over here on this photo. And you know what, maybe sometime soon I'll also be making some extant creatures as well, and who knows, let me know in the comments below if you are interested to see some extant creatures or living creatures here on Extinct Bricks. Although it defeats the purpose of the name of the brand, but hey, maybe some endangered creatures would be something that we would like to see here on Extinct Bricks, so that we would have a campaign on wildlife conservation, I guess. And now for some finishing colors, we have here a mixture of mid yellow and some yellow ochre, and we're painting this on the face or the head of the figure, like so. And then we'll let it dry, and then later on we'll be painting on the oranges on this figure. So while it's still a little bit wet, we mixed here some oranges with the yellows, and we're placing them here on the eye area. And also a little bit on the jaw as well, just so we have that contrast. And then after that, we're going to paint a darker shade of orange here on the area of the eyes. Hey there everyone, and we're here for a closer look on our Beishanlong. The Beishanlong is actually one of the largest ornithomimids that ever has existed. It is actually just smaller than the DINOSAURS and bigger than the Gallimimus, which is those of the more known species of ornithomimids that existed. Well, Ibi here will be coming back later on for some size comparisons. So let's have a closer look on our Beishanlong. So the Beishanlong is actually based off from this particular photo over here. It is a collect A figure of a Beishanlong. And I really like how it is actually depicted. It's very simple. It's just black, white, gray, with some highlights of yellows and oranges. Very similar to the secretary bird, which is also shown here. You can see the resemblance, right? Well, let's have a closer look on this particular figure. So the Beishanlong is like most of the ornithomimids would have this particular body shape to it. It has toothless beak. It has a long and slender neck, long strong legs for running, a tail to balance, and of course arms as well. So the particular characteristic of the Beishanlong is that compared to other ornithomimids of the same type, the Beishanlong would actually have longer and stronger arms. It has 6 inches long claws on ends of each of the arms here or hands, very similar to that of the Therizinosaurus or also of the Dinosaurus, which also would have long claws that could be used for gathering food and also catching prey, I guess, because they are considered as omnivores. Alright, so for a closer look, let's just go through the details here. The head here is toothless, as you can see here. It can open and close its mouth. The head is, I used here the small baryonyx head, which is quite, a perfect figure for the head of the Beishanlong. It has this long slender neck and some details of feathering on top of its head. The arms here are adorned with feathers, as you can see here. Has black, white, gray feathers. It has really long hands and strong hands as well in the claws. It has just long legs to it, as you can see here, which you can move from right to left. The arms here also are movable, and the neck is likewise movable as well. It has 2x2 studs on the back and has a stiff tail like most ornithomimids would have. And that's it for the closer look on our Beishanlong. It can actually, oops, sorry about that, so you can actually detach it from that and reattach it, and it can of course attach to a base plate here so that you can have a variety of poses to it. Oops, sorry about that. Variety of poses to it while you are displaying it on your cabinet, or if you're making a diorama of your dinosaurs. How do you like it, guys? Well, let's move on to the next portion of the video.
Now for our size comparison.
And we're back for some size comparisons. Let's put our EB here beside our Beishanlong and compare it with in terms of size. So you can see that the human figure here is quite small compared to the Beishanlong, which is quite large in reference to this particular photo over here. So I think the overall size of this Beishanlong is quite good in terms of comparing it with the human being over here. So let's now compare it with some of my ornithomimid figures. So first we have here a figure that I have that is the Gallimimus from Lego. So compared to the overall look to our what do you call this, our Beishanlong here, it does have, you know, a really good overall feel to it in terms of Lego, but you know, the face could be a bit more changed in terms of overall look to it, but you know, it's a kid toy. But you know, figures such as this, oops, sorry about that, Asher, please don't disturb. So in terms of, you know, overall look, could have had a much longer legs and also a much thinner body. But yeah, so that's the Gallimimus from Lego. We also have here the Pelicanimimus. So the Pelicanimimus, which I just recently made over here, is quite a small figure and also dinosaur compared to overall the Beishanlong. It's even smaller than our human counterpart here. So guys, if you haven't seen my video on the Pelicanimimus, please check it out, guys. It's a cool video which you might also want to do if you have the base figures for it. Also, I have here old customs from before, which I'm just going to, you know, show it to you guys, but I don't think I have, you know, videos of this from before. This is the ARCHAEORNITHOMIMUS. It has a very rudimentary, what do you call that, a scope to it. As you can see here, it's not very perfect, but you know, maybe soon I would want to, you know, do a remake of this. It actually is a good size for a juvenile or a younger Gallimimus, to be honest. So I might actually do that. So, but for reference sake, this is my version of the ARCHAEORNITHOMIMUS. Also, I have here the Ornithomimus. This is based off from the Jurassic World Evolution Ornithomimus. You know what? I'm really not very happy with this figure, but nonetheless, I do have an articulated one. So it has, it can open and close its mouth. It has this articulated neck to it, and articulated legs and arms, of course. But yeah, so could be a bit change in the future, and who knows, we might as well remake the Ornithomimus, because I really like, aside from the Pachycephalosaurus cis, I also like the Ornithomimids. Also, let's not forget where the smaller counterpart of this Beishanlong. This is the Gallimimus. So the Gallimimus is actually a bit smaller than the Beishanlong, as you can see here, in terms of overall length of the legs, also the height of the head, the height of the body as well, and the overall girth of the creature. They're quite different in terms of size, and even also the arms. The arms of the Gallimimus here is relatively smaller than that of the Beishanlong. Although I would like to have my Gallimimus have an articulated mouth to it, it's quite hard to find the head of the small baryonyx. So might as well just, create a static, what do you call that? Static head to it. It works for me. Alright, so guys, if you haven't seen the Gallimimus remake, please check out my video. I'm going to place the link in the description box below. I think this is actually part of my Jurassic World Dominion series, so please check it out, guys. And last but not least, the largest of the ornithomimids, this is the Dinosaurus. So how large is that? So this is considered as the largest of the ornithomimids. As you can see here, it has this high hop on its back. We don't really know if it's a sail or what, but most of the scientists would predict that it is actually a hump rather than a sail. It has this large arms to it that is actually used for gathering, seaweeds and also fresh vegetations underwater. Also, it has this really large beak to it. It's also does not have any teeth, as you can see here, but it actually represents generally a ornithomimid. And that's it, guys, for the size comparisons. Let's now proceed with Extinct Breed Species Roll Call, and we have here all the creatures that I've shown you here so far on this particular video. And if you do have other suggestions of other species that you'd like to see here on Extinct Breeds, then please comment them down below. I do read them up, and if I see that it is something that I wanted to add to my collection, then definitely will be doing those. Also, in here, we'd like to remind you guys that all that you see here is actually available in our Extinct Breeds playlist over here. But I'll also be placing in individual links, if applicable, of all that you see here, so that you won't have to go through all of the videos that I've already uploaded. Alright? Okay, so let's start with our Extinct Breed Species Roll Call. Let's start from this side. Okay, so this is our Extinct Breeds Jurassic World Evolution Ornithomimus. This is our Extinct Breeds Jurassic Park Jurassic World Gallimimus. This is our Extinct Breeds Pelicanimimus. Our Extinct Breeds this is the ARCHAEORNITHOMIMUS. This is the Extinct Breeds Jurassic World Dinosaurus, and of course there is my Lego Gallimimus over there. And started to show here, this is our Extinct Breeds Beishanlong, inspired by the Collect A figure. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, like you enjoy some of my videos as well. And if you do, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you'll be aware of all that's happening here on my channel, Extinct Breeds. And that's it for the video, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next. Bye, everyone. Also, please do not forget to support our other channels, Toy Universe, The Adventures of Moira and Usher, and Tito Mike's Kitchen. Please watch their videos and support our channel by subscribing. And as we always would say, guys, let your inner dino break roar! Thanks, everyone, and bye!